Hello viewers, I'm your host Uzma Jafri with another episode of South Asia Focus. Masood Azhar is a UN proscribed terrorist now. Yes, China has dumped him. The 1267 Sanctions Committee of the United Nations Security Council has finally listed Azhar as a terrorist after China, which was repeatedly blocking his designation, gave into the mounting international pressure. While it is being hailed across the global spectrum as a major diplomatic victory for Indians who were unrelentingly following the cause, Pakistan, which has provided him a safe haven, finds itself cornered and isolated. A report.
Relentless Indian efforts finally paid off as Masood Azhar, a mass murderer, a terrorist and mastermind of a number of horrific attacks on Indian soil, including the recent Pulwama attack, where more than 40 Indian paramilitary personnel lost their lives, was declared a global terrorist by United Nations. His designation as a terrorist materialized after P3, the grouping of the United States, the United Kingdom and France, moved a proposal few weeks back in the wake of the Pulwama attack. China had earlier put a technical hold on it. However, it withdrew its stance on 1st May 2019 after unprecedented pressure accumulated against it.
The designation is not based on a specific incident, but on the basis of evidence which we have shared with the members of the 1267 Sanctions Committee, linking Masood Azhar to several acts of terrorism. If you look at the UN notification, it very clearly states that Masood Azhar was listed for participating in the financing, planning, facilitating, and perpetrating terrorist activities associated with Jaish-e-Mohammed.
India had been making relentless efforts towards designating Azhar as a global terrorist, but China had stonewalled every move until recently. Back in 2009, India had moved a proposal to ban Pakistan-backed Azhar. In 2016 again, it moved a similar proposal with the P3 in the UN's 1267 Sanction Committee to ban Masood Azhar at the wake of the 2016 attack on India's Pathankot airbase by Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists. The ties between India and Pakistan have remained strained for years, and they were further damaged when Pakistan-backed groups carried out attacks on Indian soil. India has since then worked in the direction of minimizing its relations with Pakistan and exposing it at the global front. After receiving a shot in the arm in the form of Masood Azhar, now India says that it will ask terror finance watchdog to put Pakistan on a blacklist of countries that fail to meet international standards in stopping financial crime.
FATF में वो ऑलरेडी ग्रे लिस्ट पे हैं और मिड मे में FATF की मीटिंग है, तो भारत के पास तो जो तथ्य हैं वो रखेंगे, लेकिन इन बॉडीज़ में बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट स्क्रूटनी होती है और हम तो चाहेंगे कि जो FATF के कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस हैं पाकिस्तान की लिस्ट को डाउनग्रेड करने के, वो उन पे लगने चाहिए.
Pakistan's claims of fighting against terrorism have proven to be hollow, as the ground reports reek of perennial conspiracy being hashed by its civil establishment and army in collusion with the terrorists to carry out attacks in India and Afghanistan. Pakistan not only homes Masood Azhar but some of the most dreaded terrorists, including Hafiz Saeed of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Syed Salahuddin of Hizbul Mujahideen, Hamza bin Laden, son of Osama bin Laden, Dawood Ibrahim, a dreaded Don responsible for hundreds of killings of Indians, Ayman al-Zawahiri of Al-Qaeda, Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi of Lashkar-e-Taiba. Lately, the international community is realizing that it is the Pakistan responsible for mayhem in South Asia and other parts of the world. Whether it was the Pulwama, Pathankot, or as recent as the Easter Sunday bombings, Pakistan has had an instrumental role of destruction. Now, Pakistan stands on the cusp of being declared a terror nation. So it is in the benefit of its own that it expeditiously eliminates terror infrastructure and terrorists.
Moving on. If you aren't a part of the rapidly rising force of fundamentalists in Pakistan, then the country is not habitable for you. Yes, this is what the everyday events are suggesting in Pakistan. The country is in a sorry state of affairs ever since the religious bigots gained a foothold. Forget about the people and ideas. These hardliners have termed even life-saving vaccinations as anti-Islamic. Scores of polio vaccinators in last few months have been killed by these people, citing that it was a foreign ploy to sterilize Muslims in the name of vaccination. Amid such flaring rumors, a woman vaccinator was recently shot dead in southwestern part of Pakistan. We bring you the complete story.
Global efforts aimed at eliminating the crippling childhood disease of polio suffered yet another setback in Pakistan as two female vaccinators were attacked by gunmen in Chaman region of Balochistan province. While 20-year-old Rashida Baby died, the other one is battling for her life. In a separate incident, two police officers guarding the polio worker were also killed in the northwest part of the country, while another polio worker was stabbed to death in the eastern city of Lahore. An unprecedented surge in the number of attacks was recorded after a fake and orchestrated exercise of children hospitalization gathered traction amongst the gullible parents. The broadcast sparked panic among parents who were seen rushing to hospitals in large numbers. This year's vaccine program commenced on 23rd April, and 4 people associated with the mission have already lost their lives. Though there was no immediate claims of responsibility for the incidents, but hardline Islamists, including the Pakistani Taliban, have attacked polio workers in the past as well, killing more than 100 people since December 2012. The rise in number is suggestive of the country's dual failure. It has not only failed at prioritizing its own citizens' health, but also the growing violent religious extremism.
बस यही कहते हैं ये अमेरिका वालों की चाल है, ये लोग चाल कर रहे हैं और ये हमारी नस्लें ख़त्म कर रहे हैं। आप क्यों कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे आके? ये इलाका गैर है, तालिबान है यहाँ पे सब। इनसे ऊपर जो एरिया इंचार्ज है उन्होंने कहा था कि आप किसी से कुछ मत बोलिए, अपना काम कीजिए आप। बस इन लोगों ने फायर किया सर में उसके बच्ची के।
While the polio has been eradicated from almost all parts of the world, Pakistan's fight against the disease has faltered time and again. The principal reasons being the unwavering campaign by the hardliners who believe that vaccination is an un-Islamic Western plot to harm their children and the whole society.
We have view that this is donated by America or the European countries. So we have in concept that because they are non-Muslim countries, they are our enemies. So we think that they have something in this vaccination which is not good for us.
Religious opposition by Muslim fundamentalists has remained the major factor in the failure of immunization programs against polio in Pakistan. Some ultra-conservative religious leaders have even spread rumors that vaccines contain ingredients forbidden in Islam, such as pork derivatives, or that can cause infertility as part of a Western plot to reduce the population. such a grave situation, protecting children from polio with few simple drops of vaccine has become the most dangerous task in Pakistan.
To educate us more into the issue, we are now joined by P.K. Sehgal, an expert on South Asian political affairs. Pakistan continues to pose a challenge to a polio-free world thanks to hardline Islamists who have been perpetuating their narrative that vaccine is a foreign ploy to sterilize Muslims. Do you think that Pakistan can battle this medieval mentality and narrative at a time when fundamentalists have made deep inroads in the society?
It's very unfortunate as far as Pakistan is concerned, despite the world wanting to help Pakistan in terms of eradication of polio, and despite the personal appeal by the Pakistani Prime Minister, the unfortunate part is that the terrorists, who are the hard elements, have convinced the people of Pakistan that there's an attempt to sterilize them so that they cannot produce children on a level at which they are producing. Under the circumstances, the government's writ does not run at all, and as far as polio eradication is concerned, it continues to be prevalent in Pakistan in a very major way, and children continue to suffer. As far as the society is concerned, society is fed up of it. No parent wants the child to be polio stricken, but their wanting or not wanting is of no meaning whatsoever as far as the hardliners are concerned. Hardliners are absolutely and totally in total control of the situation, and in Pakistan everything happens the way they want it to happen.
Moving on to Afghanistan, where a 4-day Loya Jirga was held in capital Kabul. The Grand Assembly discussed ways to pull the country out of the decades of war it has been embroiled in. Although Jirga's decision is legally not binding, it is considered highest manifestation of people's will and has a remarkable history of taking discourse, diverting decisions. As first step to restoring peace in the country, it has decided to urge both parties, the government and the Taliban, to show restraint and observe ceasefire. A report.
More than 3,200 delegates who attended the consultative Loya Jirga or Grand Assembly have demanded a ceasefire from both Taliban and the government in order to restore peace in Afghanistan. The gathering, which was being billed as the largest in country's recent history, also discussed measures on how to initiate dialogue with the armed opposition group of Afghanistan, Taliban. Entire country, including the government, is hopeful that this Loya Jirga, defined as the highest manifestation of the will of the people of Afghanistan and is convened only in extraordinary circumstances, will play a crucial role in bringing country back on right track. President's aide, who did not release any statement after the conclusion of the Jirga, had said before the event that the event was poised to provide a direction to the president.
Imagine delegates, men, women, young, from all across Afghanistan, from all the districts which have security problems. They come together to Kabul to talk about the peace. The symbolic value of this is huge. They are the ones who are impacted by the security situation, and they are the ones who know what path for the peace should be taken. And we believe that this will be historic. This will be a Loya Jirga, which will give the president a direction as to which route he should take for an inclusive and long-lasting peace.
An uncommon term, Loya Jirga means Grand Council in Pashto and is a mass national gathering that brings together representatives from the various ethnic, religious and tribal communities in Afghanistan. The centuries-old institution has been convened a number of times in the past to settle national issues or address any type of national crisis. Historically, it has been used to approve a new constitution, declare war, choosing a new king, or to make sweeping social or political reforms. However, any verdict it hands out must be approved by the two houses of the Afghan parliament and the president in order for it to be made official.
اهمیت لوجرگا در این شرایطی که افغانستان 40 سال جنگ پشت سر گذرانده، بنیادهای اقتصادیش خراب شده، جوانای مردم کشته شده، خانه‌های مردم خراب شده، یک ضرورت بسیار مبرم است.
It has the power to amend the constitution, impeach the president, and decide on issues related to independence, national sovereignty, territorial integrity, as well as supreme national interests. The Loya Jirga is conducive to building consensus among all parties in the country and will have a positive impact on the process of national reconciliation in Afghanistan, according to the attendees.
اگر اینمی مردم یک مشوره خوبی دادن که هم بر دولت قابل قبول باشه و هم بر طرف طالبان قابل قبول شود و هم ملت از او پشتیبانی کنه، دیگه ما فکر میکنیم که یگانه راه اینمی است که هیچ وقت دو طرف با هم صلح یا گپ زدن نمیتونه. یک طرف سوم باشه که در مابین دو طرف گپ بزنه و واقعیت رو بگه.
Afghanistan has been fighting a bloody battle for years. It has lost thousands of soldiers and civilians to armed Taliban who want a different form of discourse in the country. They want to rule the country as per their interpretation of Islamic laws. They want a radical change in the country, with women being pushed towards a life more or less equivalent to slavery. Before it was ousted in 2001 by the US-led forces, the Taliban was ruling country in their own style, and they have been making all efforts to regain the authority. They claim to control more than 60% of country's population. The government was forced to hold a Loya Jirga after it was snubbed by these insurgents in the ongoing peace process, and the threats magnified after they held a meeting in Russia. A seemingly nervous president has since then been unreasonably generous in his outreach to the insurgents. He has provided all offers that he could to bring Taliban on the negotiating table.
Afghanistan may have been embroiled in a permanent warlike situation, but the spirit of its people is indomitable and the attitude is resilient. They are undeterred by the threats and attacks of Taliban. Although resources are limited in the country, they try and enjoy their lives to the fullest. Today we'll show you how an amusement park has become the center of outings in capital city of Kabul, and people are thronging the site in large numbers despite Taliban's recent declaration of the spring offensive. A report.
City Park, the country's first ever amusement park, has provided a brief respite to the people of Kabul who are gripped by the sustained security tension in Afghanistan. Nestled on the bank of Kabul River in the heart of Kabul, the park was opened in 2014, and since then it has become one of the favorite outing spots for the people of the city and around. Although its hardware cannot equal that of other countries, the small recreational enclave offers family a respite from all the agonies of lingering strife and turmoil related to the ongoing conflict. Chairman Habibullah Asmati hopes that this park will bring peace and happiness to the lives of people who are constantly living under a shadow of fear.
این مردم هموماً با جنگ و با جیگرخونی و هر روز انفجار و انتحار مطلقاً عادت کردن. ما من حیث کسی که اولین پارک در سطح کشور پارک معیاری ایجاد کردیم، امید ما این است که مردم یک چند لحظه‌ای که میان خوش و خندان باشن، دور از سر و صداهای روزمره و انفجار انتحار و بوی بارون.
The park is usually open from 9 in the morning to midnight, with the peak coming on Friday afternoon. Saturdays and Sundays also see more visits. About 1,000 visitors come on an average day. The ticket is 30 Afghanis, which is equivalent to about $0.39 US, but entertainment facilities may charge an extra of 50 to 100 Afghanis.
جار جنجال افغانستان خب بسیار زیاده، جنگ و مشکلات همیشه است، چرا ما به خاطر که بعض وقت فرصت میشیم در کار با روزگار میشه اطفال خود گرفته بینیم که خوشگذرانی شوه و اطفال ما ازش یک ذره که احساس خوشی کنن، چرا که
The beautiful park with its 45-meter tall peace tower is a pleasant distraction for the many enthusiasts who pay frequent visits. To add to the beauty of the park, Astami said that several months ago, his company bought a decommissioned commercial plane and converted it into a restaurant and a movie theatre. With a capacity of 70 people, the 3D cinema has become a real hit at the country's only amusement park.
همونطور که انسان ها با آب و نان ضرورت دارن بر تفریح هم ضرورت دارن و این ضرورت هر انسان است، بخصوص مردم افغانستان که بسیار پریشان هستند. ما همین ضرورت دانسته پارک ساختیم و پارک ها برای زندگی انسان ها بسیار زیاد حیاتی و ضروری است.
With nearly 6 million people, Kabul is a virtual fortress. Major buildings are protected by tall concrete barriers and barbed wires. Former thoroughfares are blocked to prevent suicide bombers from reaching potential targets like the presidential palace. And it is all done to protect the city from constant attacks by the Taliban, the resurgent group which claims to control around 60% of the country's area. It has recently ramped up its attacks in the line of the annual spring offensive, which was declared only few days back. It is unclear how many people have been killed, but estimates put civilian deaths since 2001 at around 30,000.
Moving on to India, which has rich textile heritage. To promote fashion, recently a two-day fashion extravaganza, Asian Designer Week 2019 was organized in capital New Delhi. The event saw fashion lovers and designers from different states converging for the show. The show had special features from the northeastern part of the country. Take a look.
To promote India as a fashion destination and provide a dynamic platform to young and aspiring designers across Asia, a two-day-long fashion extravaganza, the 8th edition of Asian Designer Week 2019, was recently held at Hotel Vivanta Dwarka in the national capital. Organized by the Asian Fashion Design Council, the Fashion Jamboree also saw designers from across the Northeast region showcasing the latest collection. The Northeast region is one such region which is well known for rich handloom textiles. With an aim to promote Khadi textiles of Northeast in collaboration with Delhi Fashion Club, renowned Manipur designer Robert Naurem showcased his latest summer collection.
This collection speaks not only just about fashion design, it has a lot of emotion to do our Northeast. Northeast is an area where there is a lot of creative people, creative weavers, and very famous in handloom and textile. But it has been, get out of the limelight.
Manipuri actress Soma Laishram from the state was the showstopper for designer Robert. Celebrating spring-summer, Robert's collection showcased exquisite Manipuri cultural dress clubbed with Naga headgear.
Bridal dress of Manipuri traditional attire, but this color has been a bit customized by the most creative person of Manipur, Mr. Robert, the fashion, the designer himself. And yeah, he's been speaking about the people of Northeast. Manipur is very creative, but he himself is a very creative person. And yeah, he has been working totally hard to promote the tradition and culture of Northeast of Manipur.
Initiatives like this not only promote Indian fashion industry globally, but also strengthen India's geopolitical position among neighboring countries through cross-border art and cultural exchange across the subcontinent.
Indian fashion industry has recorded a steady growth in recent times. With that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Goodbye and take care.